Yo, what's happening, world? Name's Raheem Flowers. Been a minute since I made a video like this in this format, but I'd rather just make more like a statement and a PSA, you feel me? And if you see my face, it resonates more. I've been extremely bored, and it made me think about just knowing that it's a time for change. Not just because it's the end of the decade, not just because we basically at half time, because June is right around the corner. I'm gonna skip away, but I've just noticed just the patterns and these movements that really cause a whole bunch of confusion. When I'm talking about these movements cause confusion, I'm talking about all that shit. The so-called Pride Parade, which I'm glad that Judah pointed out about it being one of the 7 deadly sins, and just having all these movements that are supposedly coming from a righteous cause and a place of equality and acceptance, but really you're just infringing your will on others to believe in something that goes against nature, that goes against the Creator, and it goes against people's personal space. Whether it's the homosexual aspect of it, whether it's people who engage into these religious aspects, whether it's people who are just basically, I mean, I'm not like Judah. I don't write people off as Luciferians, but there are Luciferian undertones and elements to what people are doing, because they want to enlighten you about certain beliefs / lifestyles. They want to, and Lucifer is the bearer of light. But calling everybody and their mama a Luciferian because they don't subscribe to the Bible, they don't adhere to the scriptures written, I'm like, Now, I'm somebody who has learned to value the Bible and scriptures. Even though my mother is an Adventist Christian, I can never get down with Christianity. And I still can't get down with Christianity in the church, because guess what they venerate? They venerate Circe, a goddess, a nymph, a maiden, a thought in this contemporary day and age. And I've noticed a lot of these cats out here who are a bunch of pseudo-neo-pro-blacks, guess who they run behind? They run behind a lot of these sisters. When I say these sisters, I'm talking about black women. Whether it's the ADOS movement, who's ran by lesbian black women, whether it be by Black Lives Matter, again, ran by who? A bunch of lesbian black women, and who's around, and who is the one funding for it. And you need, in order to maintain a movement, finances are important, and that is George Soros. Like, you just gotta look at the patterns. And what I wanted to say earlier in terms of boredom is that there is a certain degree of chaos that does keep the universe and just keeps the world at large running. There's context to chaos. You have the constructive chaos, and then you just have senseless chaos. What you see these individuals doing, infringing their will on others, guess what that is? That is senseless chaos. And then you have constructive, or ironically, really destructive chaos, where you want to destroy certain buildings because either it's getting too old, it's getting too moldy, and it can't uphold people being in those communities, or you want to destroy a certain ideology and mentality that is being detrimental to a community, i.e. a lot of these devil-worshipping, gang-banging niggas out here. And I'm not just saying devil-worshipping and speaking whimsically. Like I stated in my video talking about Nipsey Hussle when I was down there on Lawrence and Kenmore, where the rapper Young Pappy died at. Like, the 6-pointed star is in reference to the Star of Refrain, where you're idly worshiping another deity. And then the 5-pointed star is also in reference to belief systems like Satanism. In Chicago, there was a white dude out there who discovered another faction of Satanism known as Lavare Satanism. And if you know anything, Satanism has the emblem of a 5-pointed star. Or you can even look at the Wiccas. It's crazy, bro. There's a whole bunch of patterns, and like I said the other day on Saturday, I was saying how there's the numbers is the language of the creator and things of that nature, and I look at that when it comes to dealing with chaos and certain patterns. Every pattern has a rhythm, and the rhythms have a number because you're going along with certain things and sequences, things of that nature. You feel me? I see that. Chaos has a place in the universe, and that's why when it comes to Lucifer, it's not a matter of Lucifer being evil per se, but what makes Lucifer evil is the fact that he infringed his will onto the world and looking to enlighten others. There's an anime out there called Devilman Crybaby, and in Devilman Crybaby, Lucifer is the main antagonist, and his best friend, I don't remember his name right now, is the main protagonist. And he was basically talking about the ills of humans and human nature, and pretty much caused a whole global war and destroyed mankind and everything left within it and his friend in the process. I've seen snippets and bits and pieces of the show, but I gotta really watch the full thing to get a proper, full, additional context. But with that being said, Lucifer, in the back of his mind, is doing the right thing. See, I got a tattoo. I got an alchemy tattoo that represents Hermetic teachings or Hermes, and that being one of those Greek / and or Roman gods. And what I learned is Lucifer is a hermaphrodite, meaning you have both of those organs of a male and a female. But see, the reason why I got these tattoos, and I'm looking to get more tattoos like a daimon and a jinn spirit and many other mythical and what they call esoteric symbols, because that's also the sub-meaning behind it. Well, I have my own sub-meanings, but the primary reason behind it is for me challenging the world, the thought process, the beliefs that many people hold dear. You get what I'm saying? That is my main intent. Excuse me, people. But yeah, you have a lot of people in this world who are lovers of chaos. One of my best friends, who I love to death, is like a brother to me. But for all intents and purposes, he was a lover of chaos because he indulged dealing with a lot of these ratchet black women out here when he was living out of state, somewhere in Minnesota, and I gave him sound advice just not to mess with certain individuals, and there's no rules of reaction and things of that nature. But instead, he indulged and he trolled, and you reap what you sow in this world, in this realm. But to be fair, he's from an area known as Cabrini Green here in Chicago, which is one of the most infamous areas, not just in Chicago, but just part of the states in general. So it's like you can't even help but to have some sort of inclination or some affinity to chaos. But you could eventually remove yourself from it once you ruminate on what's being said, and you really just look at yourself more objectively and just recognize what you're doing is wrong. And it's wrong because you see the results of what happens when you engage in those acts. And this man taught me a whole lot about life. Love him to death, and I would never say anything disparaging, but this is just an observation I made. He's taught me a lot of things as he criticized me personally. But yeah. So when I look at all these individuals, they're lovers of chaos. These pseudo-neo-pro blacks don't do nothing but talk. They have this ADOS movement, Pan-Africanism. They have RGB. They got, and then you have cats out there who are part of IB Moore, Mick, causing a hell of confusion. Then you got the feminists, hell of confusion. That's all that shit is. And you just gotta observe it and say it and call for what it is. That's my whole spiel and take on that. You feel me? That's how you gotta really take things in. I'm not like, there's a place in the, like I stated earlier, everything has context to it. I'm not gonna just write something off as inherently evil because we consider it chaotic. We need things to be destroyed on this planet. We need certain ideologies and groups to just be removed because for the betterment of maintaining and having a world that is more paramount, that is more productive. Sometimes you gotta make order out of chaos too. That's all I gotta say for now though. Peace out.